Race number 1 on PB Lawrence Stakes Day, and it is a benchmark 74 over the 1100 metres, and I've got Educated on top. I like this horse here. I think it's very hard to beat. Ran really well in its first preparation, having the 4 starts for 3 victories. Second preparation, he won on debut and then had a spell, came back, won 2 on the bounce, went to a listed race. Behind some very good horses, end of prep run, comes back here. I don't think you could find a horse trialling better at the moment. James Johnston in the setup, he's flying, gets in with a very winnable weight of 56 kilos and gets a draw to give him some options in barrier number 10. So I think is the one to beat in the first race. I've got Mark Dell in for second. I was on this horse last start. Gets in with the 16.5 kilos. It's not Craig Williams, though, in the saddle. It's Emily Posman. But I still think that this horse can run well. Draws really well. Was wide last start and still won. It has the race fitness and will handle the ground. I've got Fundamental Nature in for third. I think that this horse will run a very good race here. Had some very good ratings of its first preparation and won 2 of his first 4, so has to be respected and draws a good barrier here. And I've got Behaviour in for 4th. Hard fit, 1 last start. He's got to do it on the backup and has to go up in weight, but could do it. But I'm with Educated to win first up. Race number 2 at Caulfield is the Remembering Diatribe benchmark 78 handicap over the 2,000 metres. Of course, the horse that was dynamic, in the Caulfield Cup when he won it. And I've got a horse that's heading in that direction to the Caulfield Cup in Submerg on top. This horse did some very good things when he was last in work, running second twice and winning his other 2 starts over the 2,000 metres where he's wins, and he ran second over the 24 and the 1,600 metres first up. So he's first up here, 2,000 metres. He's got to carry the weight of the 60.5, but he's drawn a little bit wide, but he's got Craig Williams, a jockey that knows him well and has won on him twice before. So with all that in mind, he's the deserved favourite, and I think we'll be winning. Aeolian in for second. I was on this horse last start, and I thought he ran really well. And I think he might have a map advantage on Submerg, but I just think Submerg might be the better horse. Kenmare Bay in for third. Not sure if it's running here or in Sydney, but it'll be charging home. And Amleto has been racing well during the winter. When is his time going to be up and looking for the paddock? Who knows? But he goes up a bit in weight here, but he has to be competitive again. Race 3 at Caulfield is a benchmark 78 for the fillies and mares at over the 1,400 metres at handicap level, and I am with Misapprehend on top. I was with this horse a couple of weeks ago, and it ran really well behind Cherish Me, and I think that this horse is hard to beat here, getting in with no weight for James Johnston. But having said that, I think it's going to be it's a race in 2 between Misapprehend and Silent Shares. I think Silent Shares is going really, really well. Is suited to this grade and has been racing at this grade consistently, where Misapprehend is up to this grade for the, I think, first or second time. But Misapprehend has got no weight, a good draw, James Johnston in the saddle, and I think that this is the race for Misapprehend to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Silent Shares wins either. The 2 of them can 100% win, and they're both the main chances in this race. Mystery and Drama looks way over the odds at $19. Yes, it took a little bit of time for this horse to break its maiden, but after it did, it won again, and then it ran third to She's an Alibi, and when finished in that race, the Angus Armanasco finished right beside Salty Pearl, who's a Group 1 place getter, so I think can run well at $19. And Butternut Princess first up was behind Tennessee Bound and Behaviour. That's proven to be a good form race. Up to the 1,400 metres will only improve her chances, and on a soft track won't hurt them either. But I'm with Misapprehend, no weight, forward position in running, James Johnston bringing the weight down, and a good draw. It all leads towards a win for mine. Race number 4 at Caulfield is a benchmark 90 handicap over the 1,400 metres, one of the toughest races of the day, but I've gone with the horse that's in form, suited at this level, won at this level, this preparation, and I'm with Duchess Sue, another one for James Johnston and Kieran Ma. This horse has been, it has drifted in the market, but I think come race time it'll be well back because it's hard fit, 1,400 metres suits, loves a wet track, and has just been the find of the winner really, and has been going through its grades and winning impressively, mostly at Flemington. So it has to transfer that form to Caulfield, but I think if it gets the right run in transit somewhere forward to midfield, it should take a bit of beating. He'll rip in for second. This horse has been unlucky on quite a few occasions on this preparation and comes through the right races, draws well, and gets that man in the saddle, Blake Shin, and won't mind this thing out of the track either. 10 Commandments in for third. Gets in well at the weights, only fourth up here, coming off a third at benchmark 100 level behind Coeur Valent and Rise at Dawn, and will run well. And Sneaky Sunrise gets in light at the weights and will be charging home and could show something here. But I'm with Duchess due to use the hard race fitness, the claim, good draw, and the fact that it's just absolutely flying to win again. Race number 5 is the Group 3 Vane Stakes over the 1100 metres, and I've got Closer to Free on top. I think that this horse is a star on the rise, and I think he can take a lot of beating here. Won a stakes race on debut, then ran second in the Diamond at his second race start, only beaten by Streisand. It was only about a length on the line, and that's great form for a race like this, and he's got that top echelon of form from his 2-year-old season, and I think he can back it up in his 3-year-old season, considering that he's trialled really well. He gets Mark Zahra, who rode him in his trials. He's got a good draw, and I think he could absolutely explode here. Hard kicking for second. Disappointed everybody first up, though I think he's back on track after a very handy trial recently. Gets D-Lane back in the saddle, a lot in his favour, though there's also a query how he'll go on a wet track, but that's a query for most of these colts and geldings here. Big Weeks, if they cook it up front, he'll be the one charging home, and he did a very good job to win the showdown, beating Miss Chanel that day at Caulfield, and has run well at Caulfield before. Confederation in for fourth, and I think that this horse can run a race at $13, having only had the 2 race starts, trialled well up in Sydney, and last preparation he looked like a big baby. In his trial recently he looked like a very good horse, so watch out for him. But Closer to Free, I think that he'll settle leaders back, or one out, one back, pull out at the top of the straight and go bang. I think he's the one to beat. Race number 6 at Caulfield is the Group 3 Corsette Stakes over the 1100 metres, and I cannot believe the price we are getting about Lara Antipova. She goes off a rating of 98. Yes, she's got to carry the penalty for being the best horse in the race of 59 kilos, but her rating points are well clear of anything in this race. She's a 2-time Group 2 winner and a Group 1 winner, and she's won everything she's been in, an absolute hand canter. Mick D rode her in the Group 1, and he rides here. I just can't believe, why is she $6? She's clearly the best horse in the race, and I think she'll absolutely thrash this field. Natural Fling for second. While I do think that there's a fair bit of speed here, I think that this horse is the one that can take it and run really, really well. He's the proven local horse of this field. She's the proven local horse of this field, winning on debut at Caulfield, but with a couple of lengths up its sleeve, and then went to the Gold Coast and ran really well. Streeted everything from being 3 wide the trip, bar the next episode, and I think can run well here. Riverina Lulu. Now, a lot of people are probably getting a bit carried away with that win. It was a mid-year winter 2-year-old race. She's a good horse, but this is a massive step up in grade against better horses on a wet track. She's going to have to be as good as everybody thinks to win, and to be honest, she's going to have to prove it to me first. That's why I've got her in for third, and Scintillation in for fourth. I'm with Lara Antipova. She's my best bit of the day, best value on this card, and I think she will absolutely streak them. Race number 7 at Caulfield is the Group 2 PB Lawrence Stakes, the lead up in 2 weeks to the MMZ. This horse won the Bletchingley Stakes in an absolute canter. A lot of people question this horse, how he'd handle the ground, how good is he going to be, how good is he? Well, I think he answered all those questions with a plum in his name, Cosmic Crusader. This horse is clearly the one to beat. He was the young kid on the block, and I think that he's going to take an absolute power of beating, and to be honest, I don't think anything in this field can beat him. So, to be honest, take the 240 because he's going to shorten, and I think he's absolutely going to trot in. Private Eye in for second. He's the old marvel, the old warhorse. He won this race last year. This race is stronger and contains better horses, though having said that, he did beat Evaporate by an absolute cricket pitched last year, and has had that horse's best on quite a few occasions. So that's why I've got Private Eye above Evaporate. He's a consistent horse. He always runs well, but he's a bit of a proverbial place getter. It's been a while since he's won a race. The last time he won a race was the Sandown Stakes. It wasn't that long ago, but the two I've got above him are better horses, and Coeverline, mare in form, wet track, at a distance that should suit her at $14 is over the odds. Hard to see it being the top three in betting home, but you've got to have one in for fourth, and why not her, considering she's racing so well. Race number 8 at Caulfield is the Evergreen Turf listed Regal Roller Stakes over the 1200 metres, and a lot of people are going to think I've lost the plot tipping this horse, but I'm with Azakura here, and I think that this horse could be a smoky at odds at $9. Willie Pike in the saddle, no weight, good draw to be just sitting there on the fence and having last crack. Yeah, will need luck, but this horse always seems to find it, considering that he beat Clever Trevor in second to Welcome to the Show, who's a well-established Metro class horse. He ran second to 60s in the CS Hayes Stakes. There's a lot of good horses around his form and mixed into it. And I think him here, first up, 1200 metres, he's ready to rock and roll because he's looked very good in a couple of jump outs in his pieces of work. So I think that he can run a big race here at $9. Happy to be on. Arkansas Kid in for second. This horse is definitely the forgotten horse of this field, considering he's had quite a few excuses in a couple of his runs. Yes, you can make the case that he's a non-winner, being 5 from 35, but I think that with the class of races he's been in, he's the forgotten horse at $9. But yes, he does have to carry the weight. Recon is the one that I think is going to be the one charging at them late, flying down the outside, in with no weight again. Though he's only had one jump out to get ready for this, and Warney, wouldn't be surprised to see him flying home either in preparation for something further, because he's probably will be looking for a little bit further. But I'm with Azakura in the Regal Roller. Race number 9 at Caulfield is a benchmark 100 over the 1600 metres, and this horse is absolutely flying this preparation. First chorus, I've been on her last 2 wins, and I will not be dropping off here. Has been very effective around the 16 to 1800 metre range at this track for a while now. Yes, it's been up for a while, but it's on the weak backup. Lindsay Smith wouldn't have her here if she wasn't right. She's got hard race fitness on a lot of these horses in this field. With a likely bunny to chase, I think she's going to be even more effective, deserving favourite, and should be winning. Light Infantry Man in for second. I think that this horse can win, but he's only first up, and we know how he improves significantly with racing. Though he's off a rating of 115 and a 3-time Group 1 winner, he's going to take a fair bit of bidding because he's a classy horse. Dark Bonnet gets in with no weight, though I'm convinced he's better on a dry track. And Just Folk, if they leave him alone in front, it could be detrimental to them because he's racing really well. First chorus for mine, though. He should just be winning this in a hand canter. Thank you everyone for watching my preview for Group 2 PB Lawrence Stakes Day. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'm hoping to get a couple of winners on this card. I'm confident on a few, not so confident on a couple of others, but hopefully taking risk pays off, as they mostly always do. But yeah, hopefully a couple of winners on this card, and we can start the spring the right way on a winning note, because the good horses are back.